Boom, welcome in, guys. Deck of the week. I'm here with a member of the Discord, Pack Boys Nation, legendary Hida Kenshiro, one of the top contributors of the stream. He's here with me today to show off one of his commander decks that we've jammed together and that he's submitted for Deck of the Week. Let's get into it, Hida.
All right, what's up, guys? So this is my Dragon's Approach deck. Initially, I had Cormella Glamour Thief as the commander, but when when Doctor Who came out, Davros seemed a lot better because he draws cards and he makes guys, and I don't always have that many guys to defend myself with while I'm trying to kill people with Dragon's Approach. So Dragon's Approach is a real simple card. You can have as many of them in your deck as you want. I got 26, as you can see. It deals 3 damage to each opponent, and then if you can exile it 4 cards with the same name as it to search your library for a dragon and put it onto the battlefield.
Ooh.
Now, dragons I would get out of that are as follows. Galazeth Prismari. Not always the first choice, but he lets me tap artifacts to pay for instants and sorceries, which is really helpful since 26 cards in my deck, if not more, are sorcery.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Red Dragon, who does a similar thing, deals 4 damage to each opponent upon entering the battlefield. So if I need to get a little bit more damage in at some point and I want a flying body, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Then we got some card draw out of Ancient Silver Dragon.
Hell yeah. And I pointed out before, that's foil.
Yes.
That's the big flex.
And then we got an Ancient Copper Dragon for more ramp. And then we got, for more ramp, Cavern Horde Dragon, who is a flying trample haster for 6/6. And when he hits somebody, you get treasures equal to the number of artifacts that player controls. So, yeah, typically Cavern Horde Dragon is the first thing I get. And I go after the person with the most artifacts, which is often the person in the lead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right? Someone who's good at Dockside before the ban.
Yeah. Next, we got Thrumming Stone. If you're playing a deck that, its gimmick is you're allowed to have more than one of these cards in it, Thrumming Stone's the card you want to play with as well, because it gives your spells Ripple 4, which means whenever you cast a spell, you look at the top 4 cards of your library, and if you find a copy of the card you just cast, you get to cast that again for free and Ripple again.
Huge. Value City, bro.
Yeah, so basically whenever Thrumming Stone hits the board, I win.
Literally, yeah. You just need to play one Dragon's Approach, and then that's it, right?
Yeah, and then it basically runs through the entire deck.
Mm-hmm.
We got card. Let's see. For dragons that don't have haste, the 2 big ones that are the Ancient Copper and the Ancient Silver, I have a Flame Shadow Conjuring to make copies of them and give them haste. Basically, it costs you an extra 1 red mana to make a copy of a creature that just hit the battlefield.
Nice. And it's Magic Origins. It's a deep cut set.
Yeah. Then we got doublers. We got Obosh, who doubles odd cost spells.
Yeah.
Dragon's Approach costs 3. Then you got Sulfum, who doubles non-combat damage. And then you got Fiendish Duo, who's a 5/5 first striker for 6 that doubles any damage dealt to an opponent, not just from your sources.
Does he cost the same as Obosh?
No, it costs 1 more.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Let's see here. Card draw in the deck. We got Tidings, 5 mana, draw 4 cards, real simple.
Mm-hmm.
We got Siphon Mind, which is each player discards a card, and you draw a card for each card discarded this way. Often I play in a 5-player pod on weekends, and this card is extra good because it's only 4 mana, and you can draw 4 cards off of it in that case.
Value.
Yeah. We got Sauron the Dark Lord, who could potentially draw us cards if we've run out of hand, or we're down and we don't care about the cards that are currently in our hand. Plus, it makes a big dude, and he's really hard to deal with, and he's a big dude himself.
Yeah, he's annoying, and then it's like what? Ward, sack a legendary?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, he's annoying.
We got Archmage Emeritus. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, or copy it, or copy one, you may draw a card.
Oh.
And then we got Consecrated Sphinx, who's a big fat flyer.
Yep.
Who draws the cards every time somebody draws a card, or one of your opponents draws a
For
card.
those Rhystic Study players.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
all coming together. Now I get why that guy's in there. It's all coming together.
When that guy's on the field, you don't pay for it.
No. You need the draw.
And we got Florian, who works really well with Dragon's Approach. He says, at the beginning of your post-combat main phase, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the total amount of life lost by your opponents this turn. Exile one of those cards. You may the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. You may cast or play the exiled card until the end of the turn. So basically, one Dragon's Approach with Florian equals 9 cards. You dig 9 cards down to see, whatever you get, and then you can cast whatever or play whatever card that is. Like, even if you miss the land drop this turn, Florian's.
Oh, it says play, so it lets you get the land. That's good to know.
Yeah. Another card that works incredibly well with Dragon's Approach is Nahed the Eternal. 4/6 for 5. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, you get red mana equal to the amount of life lost by your opponents this turn. So one Dragon's Approach equals 9 mana off to then cast 3 more Dragon's Approaches.
Oh my god. Dude, you don't even really need Thrumming Stone. You got a lot going on.
True, but Thrumming Stone's still fun.
Oh yeah, of course.
Of course. Now we got creatures that deal with creatures. We got Satyr Fire Dancer, who, whenever I deal non-combat damage, whenever an instant or sorcery you control deals damage to an opponent, which is what Dragon's Approach does, Satyr Fire Dancer deals that much damage to target creature that player controls.
Wow.
So one Dragon's Approach off this guy says I get to zap a creature on each of my opponent's boards for 3. And if there's a doubler on the field, it's 6.
That's good. It's better than spot removal because you're hitting wider across the board, which is nice.
Yeah. Chandra's Incinerator does something terribly similar to that, except it's a 6/6 trampler for like 1 mana typically.
Yeah.
Because it's got a cost reduction of however much your opponents have taken this, or however much was it non-combat damage dealt to your opponents this turn. And then we got Orcish Bowmasters to kill things because my opponents want to draw cards. Because I gotta get rid of some things, right?
Yeah, you might as well throw them in if you got them.
Yeah, exactly. We got the one instant in the deck, Cyclonic Rift.
I hate that card. Eye roll.
Yeah. You love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Where else are we? We got a cost reducer for. So this is called Locket of Yesterdays, and it says spells you play cost 1 less to play for each card and with the same name in as that spell in your graveyard. So
Okay.
with 2 Dragon's Approaches in your graveyard, all your Dragon's Approaches cost 1 red. As long as that card is out.
That's hilarious because Commander, we only get 1 of each card, so you're just cheating, right? It's like a allowable cheat that the game's giving you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to have Pyromancer's Ascension in the deck, which does which copies spells.
Yep.
To be able to play spells of the same name in order to get it to go off. But that ended up coming out of the deck.
Okay. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So now we got creatures that pack on the damage. Gutter Snipe, you know him, you love him.
Classic hit.
Exalted Flamers of Tzich.
Mm-hmm.
They do the same thing as Gutter Snipe, except it's only 1 damage to each opponent. But they also get you back an instant or sorcery card at the beginning of each of your end steps, although it isn't random. Then we got Junith, Carnage Connoisseur, who can give your Dragon's Approaches lifelink and Death Touch. The lifelink's really nice if you're getting low, but if you're not low and you can do this, she makes 2/2 red imps that when they die deal 2 damage to each opponent. So basically, you're getting ground defenders to deal with any problems that come your way. And when they die, because they're only 2/2s, they're likely to die. You get to deal even more damage to your opponents.
Yeah, and if you got like your damage doubler, maybe Obosh doesn't hit tokens.
Obosh would not hit tokens because they cost 0.
Yeah.
In other words, they're even.
Okay.
But now that I think about it,
so I'm saying you might have a card.
Obosh works with Gutter Snipe.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, dude.
That's pretty cool. I hadn't actually thought about that.
Hey, we're finding out new things here on the segment. Let's go.
And then we got the last 4 cards of the deck that aren't artifact ramp. We got Prisoner's Dilemma, which is a weird card. Each opponent secretly chooses Silence or Snitch, and then the choices are revealed. If each opponent chose Silence, Prisoner's Dilemma deals 4 damage to each of them. If each opponent chose Snitch, Prisoner's Dilemma deals 8 damage to each of them. Otherwise, Prisoner's Dilemma deals 12 damage to each opponent who chose Silence. And then it's got Flashback for 7.
Oh my god, Flashback's hilarious.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
So the best part about the Flashback, it almost always hits for 8 damage. Because you do it the first time and somebody gets screwed. You do it a second time, nobody wants to get screwed.
No. It's funny too because I was saying that card is very wordy. It's got like a wall of text.
Oh yeah.
We hate reading cards in Magic, but that's a good effect.
We got cards to keep you alive. Disrupt Decorum goads all creatures you don't control, so it keeps you alive for 1 round. Sometimes it's almost like take an extra turn. Almost, but not quite. Then we got Spectacular Showdown, which does the same thing if you overload it, but also gives every creature double strike tokens.
It's one of my favorite red overload cards.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And then we got Mob Verdict, which is another voting card. So each player votes secretly for another player. Then those votes are revealed. For each opponent who got a vote, Mob Verdict deals 2 damage to them and to each creature they control. And for each vote you got, meaning the caster of the spell, you draw a card. Now, drawing a card is cool and all, but usually I politic this into blowing up the board of someone who's in the lead.
Hey, I like that. I like that strat.
Yeah.
kind of flexing the card a bit more than what it's actually useful for. You're kind of like getting like you said, politics out of it, which is something we do in Commander. It's a strat not many people lean on, but if you could find a card that helps you to do like a political move, that's sick.
Yep.
Sweet. So that's the deck.
Yeah, that's the deck.
Cool, man. Yeah, we played against each other at least once or twice before. I know one time for sure. And it was really funny with your commander with this vote. Makes you discard or just lets you draw. After a while, at some point later in the game, that becomes more detrimental to your opponents on getting that discard, what their vote is. And especially, too, it's like, damn, we're going to give them that Dragon's Approach hit. I don't know, man. Cool. Well, guys, that was Hida's deck. We're going to have link in the description, so if you want to build or see what he's got, it'll be there. Hida, again, sincerely really appreciate you, man. Thank you for giving me the time to do the segment with me. And as always, we'll see each other around, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me again.
Cool. All right. Peace, bro.